Welcome, everyone. Good to see you all. What a nice group today. This is great. Hey, Keith. Yeah, very good. We still have a couple people coming in through the door. Well, let's go ahead and get started. I think we have, I think this is our 6th gathering. I think we've got 2 more. And for anyone here who has missed any of them, we do record them. The recording is on now, and they should be available up on the website under the media library. So, or even if you did attend and you want to go back. So, one more person at the door, and Genjo, I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to you, and we can go ahead and get started. Thanks everyone for coming today.
Very good. It's nice to see all of you again, and I don't know if there's anyone here new for the first time, but as most of you will recall, I like to start with a little guided meditation followed by a little silent meditation. It's something that I say to myself every time I sit in Zazen. And so take a seat, find yourself comfortable but attentive, and here we go. Resting in our own center of gravity, and from there observing the world inside and outside our physical form just as it is. Planting our tailbones like a taproot deep into the center of Mother Earth and beyond. Allowing our spines to be like antennas to the heavens, helping us recognize that at the nexus between the two, heaven and earth, is our own center of gravity. And letting heaven and earth nurture and support our own center of gravity. Taking slow, gentle, whole breaths and listening on all channels of perception to the symphony of now, including our interior thoughts, feelings, and sensations. And as we sit and breathe and witness this moment of eternity together, we gently watch for the silence, stillness, the quiet power between and within each note. In this background and omnipresent, intimate, infinite quiet, we're all being held and nurtured, healed to the best of our body's ability. And as our heart minds begin to open more as one with each other on this Zoom call, with our environment, and with that background stillness or silence, may we join with all other open and well-rooted heart minds around the globe to embrace our very troubled world and our own journeys of trials and tribulations and joys and sorrows with a gentle, persistent, loving presence. Put our hands together in Gasho and give each other a bow. And thank you. Almost everyone has their cameras on. It's great when you can have your cameras on. That way I can see who I'm talking to. So we've been examining the 10 Zen Ox pictures and how they relate to our collective spiritual journeys and nurturing our own sense of awakening for the purpose, truly for the purpose of ultimately lending a helping hand to ourselves and to our neighbors and to our states and to the world. And that's going to be facilitated by the extent to which we are open and grounded. And these 10 Zen Ox pictures are all about the journey of how to repeatedly become open and grounded, because even that is transitory. Everything's impermanent. Even being open and grounded is transitory and impermanent. So the pictures are really, can be thought of more as cyclical and non-linear, because you might be in one picture one moment and another picture another moment. You might feel lost one moment and found another moment, and that can be very quick, within a few breaths. So even though it has a linear format from 1 to 10, it's not really linear. It's more circular, and you might even think of it as more all happening at once. It's just a question of which channel we're tuned into. And today's picture is, in some ways, the deepest and the hardest part of awakening, or getting to a place where we can be fully grounded and therefore have access to our own wisdom and compassion. It's the deepest, the most unknowable, and in some ways the hardest to feel. But it's something that Zen practice points at all the time. And let's just look at the picture in the verse for a moment. I'll share it. Okay, I hope everyone's seeing this 8, both ox and self-forgotten. And what we're seeing, of course, is the circle, or the enso. And it's all around my Zendo downstairs in different calligraphy. You find it on, if you have a Roxu in the Zen tradition, everybody's got a ring. It's this enso. And it's what the 8th Zen Ox picture points at. It's the ground, truly the ground of all being. I mean all being, the ground of the universe itself. Wherever the universe came from, I can't know it, but on occasion I can feel it. And this circle represents that unknowable but feelable ground. It's the beyond, or the black before black, or the empty before empty. I've been told, or I read somewhere, that the circle in Taoist terms represents the womb of the universe. So if you happen to be a Zen practitioner who's done Jukai and you're wearing a Roxu, you have a symbol of the womb of the universe on your garment, a symbolic piece of the historical Buddha's robe with this circle represents the womb of the universe. Where does the universe come from? I don't know. Science doesn't know. We speculate. We can call it all kinds of things. You could call it God if you want. You could call it Buddha nature, the source of Buddha nature if you want. But any name that we give to it is limiting something that's inconceivable and not knowable. So to give it a name is to diminish it. So a circle is a pretty good symbol. But even if you attach to the symbol, of course, you're diminishing something that's infinite, intimate, and inconceivable. The verse reads as follows: when you have encountered this before the before, or bottom before bottom, or black before black, the whip, rope, person, and ox all merge into no thing. No thing is another name for it. Again, if we attach to the name, or shunyata or something like that, or spirit or God or Dharma or Tao, if we attach to the name, we're one step away from it. But we're pointing at something. We're pointing at this intimate, infinite, vast, boundless source that knows nothing about form and knows nothing about time. It's completely timeless, selfless. It is no thing. It's not an object. The whip, rope, and person, the whip and rope speak to our discipline or our practice. The person speaks to our sense of self. The ox speaks to our inner sage. All merge into no thing, because at this level, there is no thing. There's no separation whatsoever. Not even a sense of, even if you say a sense of oneness, you're not quite there yet. It's no-ness. This heaven is so vast, no message can stain it. How may a snowflake exist in a raging flower? Again, each snowflake has its individuality. Each one of us has an individuality. Each leaf has an individuality. Never been before, never been again. But at this level, when we are, or window, when we're looking in this direction, which is like straight down, or if I were using north, south, east, and west as opening windows of our beyond our sense of self, this would be the kind of north window, vast, cold, boundless emptiness. No snowflake can exist there, because indeed there's nothing unique or individualized can exist when experiencing or looking out this window. Here are, however, the footprints of the ancient masters. And what are those footprints? Every sage, I believe, of every tradition, on every continent, in every time, and maybe on every planet where there is life that can have a conversation like we're having right now, points to this as the bottom of the bottom, the beginning of the beginning. And then the 12th century Chinese Zen master known as Kuan says, mediocrity is gone. No room for mediocrity here. Mind is clear of limitation, because in a sense, there's no mind, there's no boundary, there's no sense of self, there's no sense of time, there's no sense of object, there's no sense of right and wrong. I seek no enlightenment because even the idea of enlightenment is completely vanquished here. You have to kind of disintegrate or die to open this window. Neither do I remain where no enlightenment exists. If you're acting from this place, you're totally beyond any attachment to the idea of enlightenment. Since I linger in neither condition, eyes cannot see me. Indeed, when we are operating from this kind of ground, nobody's looking at you and say, oh, that's an enlightened person. Or no one's looking at you and saying, that's an unenlightened person. You blend in your own groundedness and humility and gentle helpfulness. If hundreds of birds strew in my path with flowers, such praise would be meaningless. Indeed, if our actions are coming from this place, praise is not needed and deflected, and criticism too is just like Zen Master Hakuin would say, if you say so. If you say so, you have a right to your opinion, but it's not going to impact me or my actions. And that's if you're coming from this place. If you're in this place, you don't exist. If you're coming from this place, your actions are going to be entirely beyond enlightenment. You're not going to be seen as heavenly or holy. Praise and critique just kind of bounce off of you And you, like in the Zen, the 10th picture, which we haven't gotten to yet, you just lend a helping hand if you're coming from this kind of groundedness. If you're in this place, you don't exist. You just don't exist. The ox doesn't exist. The person doesn't exist. The mind doesn't exist. Time doesn't exist. Enlightenment doesn't exist. Form doesn't exist. It is the source. Recently, quite recently, there's a section of physicists who are talking about a kind of ground of being that is beyond time and space. In fact, where space-time, the flowering of this universe, arises out of, they say, some sort of two-dimensional, or is a holographic projection from some sort of two-dimensional plane. I don't understand that. I don't expect you to. Of nothing, of a quantum field or something. And that space-time is just a holographic projection out of this essence. And, you know, I think physics is ultimately beginning to catch up with Buddhism. But I don't think they have the feeling that goes along with having dissolved, I could say met, but as soon as I say met, there's still a self, dissolved into this window or this view or this lens. Now, how do you get there? There's only one way to get there. You got to die. And this is why in Zen, we say you have to die on the cushion. I'm going to stop the share now for a moment and put this document in the chat. And if you want to continue to look at it, you can look at it there if you don't already have it on your computer, because I've sent it many times before. So this is to everyone, and it's sending now. All right. So the only way to really open this window is to fly through it and disintegrate. And the only way you can disintegrate is to die, which is why in Zen, there are signs before you get to a Japanese temple that says, do not approach unless you are prepared to die. Oh, I get balloons if I do that. So do not, so that's your death, you get some balloons. So do not approach unless you're ready to die. And then we have a phrase, die on your cushion. Experience the great death now and get it over with. Since you usually, if you experience the great death, if you then take an in-breath and you're alive again, the question then becomes, what do you do with it? And we'll get to that as we go further into the Zen Ox Pictures. And they all end up in the number 10 thing, which is, as I have said, is like leaving the ego behind. It's stepping out of the ego house and walking in the world, at least for a time, as a holy fool who truly is capable of doing loving action. You don't know what action you're going to do. It's unknowable until the circumstances arise that necessitate the loving action that is required for that moment in time. And so how do you die? Well, certainly sitting on the cushion long enough or repeatedly enough may well bring you there. But there are other ways. I mean, people have described near-death experiences, and there are books and movies and studies about near-death experiences, and they essentially all talk about this place. So that's another way, is that you could be fortunate or unfortunate enough to have a near-death experience out during your life where you fall into this kind of by accident. There is also the possibility of using a heroic dose of shamanic medicine, and that'll blow your mind. And as I've often said when I've mentioned this, that there's a bit of a problem there. I mean, it's hard to know what's real and what's an hallucination if you're taking a heroic dose of shamanic medicine. It's hard enough to know what's real and what's a delusion when you're sitting on the cushion. But I think it's a little easier to determine what is real when you're sitting on the cushion rather than on shamanic medicine. But if you need to blow your mind and you haven't been able to get it in some other way, maybe that's an option. In any case, the last way to get there is to die, to literally die. And I can guarantee, at least it's a money-back guarantee. I don't know how much money you're giving, but that when we die, we will all experience this circle and say, "Oh, right, I remember Genjo talking about that." But actually, it's a memory because it's a pre-birth experience too. You know, in utero, I'm quite convinced we all know this place. It's before self arises, before self and other arises, before any sense of object arises, and or after death, where there is no sense of self or other or object. Can we die a great death and still be alive? Well, near-death experiences prove it. Heroic doses of shamanic medicine prove it, and Zazen proves it, and I'm sure there are other methods. But I'll tell you, whatever method it must be, you have to be ready to die. I mean, you have to be ready to take your last breath in some way or other in order to experience what this picture is talking about. If you are ready to let go of everyone you love and everything that you think is right and everything that you think is wrong, and you're ready to let go of your individuality and your sense of self, and you're ready to take your last breath and let everything that is precious to you go and be done, and that you're truly on your deathbed in terms of sensitivity, and you're ready to say, okay, into thy hands I commend thy spirit, kind of thing. Which is theoretically one of the things that the historical Jews has said on the cross. He was ready to take his last breath. When we're that ready, indeed, you can open this window, and really at no other time. So it's commendable. Can you live a life without having dying first? Well, yes, because in a way you've already been there in utero. And everybody's going to get there anyway. Everybody gets a turn at this window, one way or another. But whether or not you do it during your lifetime is an option. It's optional. Is it necessary? No, it's not necessary. However, I commend it to you. It's a worthy journey to open up that particular window and to get ready to die. I once did hospice work and AIDS hospice work, and in my training, they laid us down on a couch or a bed and said, all right, you're taking your last 10 breaths. And on the last breath, I mean, I had a breakthrough kind of experience. Tears were flowing from my eyes, and I was ready to die. And there was such a release just doing this training for hospice work. It was one of my releases into this space. And it's also happened on the cushion a couple of times. And, there have been a few times when twice I was flying an airplane with one engine and the engine quit. You know, these are things that say, okay, I'm ready. And you find when you're that kind of ready to die, that you're also ready in a whole new way to live life in this moment. And I'm going to stop there and see what kind of questions or comments or sharings arises. Questions, comments, or sharing? Keith, I saw you reaching for the computer.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. That was really good, Genjo. I appreciate all of that. I just wanted to ask about something that I'd never experienced before. Probably one of the most impactful Kensho moments I've had ever was just a couple of weeks ago, actually. And I was just standing there wide open, my jaw dropped, my arms went out, and this has happened when I was asleep. So it was totally enveloping, all the things you describe. Maybe not death quite yet, but I just wonder, when I woke up from that, it was a great feeling, but I didn't know whether that was what happened. I mean, was that a dream or was it, so that was, I didn't know. I didn't know what to make of it. I've never had anything like that happen. So.
In Zen, we talk about makyo, which are kind of hallucinations or waking dreams, and they can be a combination of new insights and hallucinations joined together. So makyo is not necessarily a negative thing, and certainly in our dream life, my perspective on it is that it's a parallel kind of universe going on in our semi-conscious of dreams that is matching somehow in parallel what's going on in our day life. And we get little postcards from that matching semi-conscious or unconscious realm with dreams. And our dreams are sometimes they might be wish fulfillments, or they might be revealing old trauma, or they may indeed be inspiration, insight, or even awakening Kensho in your dream. That's not beyond possibility at all. So it sounds like something like that happened to you, Keith, and that's good.
Good to know. Thank you.
I see, let's see, Chris says, Dear Genjo, I had the starting feeling to begin in understanding these 10 Ox pictures, but now by the 8th, only doubt is remaining. Good. That's great. Okay, doubt is a healthy thing, and about what is going on, and still, it is touching, recognizing something on this place where I found a seat. In fact, not that far from the birthplace of these quantum physicists. Anyway, thank you. Yeah, we say that spiritual practice takes great determination, great faith, and great doubt. And perhaps the most important is, well, you can say any one of them is the most important, but you've got to have a measure of doubt. Doubt keeps us inquiring, it keeps us checking, it keeps us, not becoming too full of ourselves or full of the teachings in the way that we grasp onto them too hard. Doubt is really, really important ingredient of investigating and practicing and being in the world. And dogma is kind of the opposite of great doubt. Great doubt is really needed. On the other hand, you can flood the engine with doubt. Doubt is like a fuel that makes practice or spiritual practice run, and without it, it doesn't go anywhere. But you can flood the engine, and where doubt is disproportional to determination or faith. And faith, by faith, I mean experience, direct experience of these different windows and of the spiritual journey. And your direct experience creates faith. It's not a belief. Anyway, when those ingredients are in proper proportions, that is the real spiritual journey. So great doubt is absolutely necessary in the right proportion.
Genjo, Annie had her hand up earlier. I don't know if you want to.
Yeah, thank you. I couldn't get the hand from the chat. And thank you, Genjo. That description of that particular state of oneness and loss of self and death is something that sounds wonderful. And also, I realized though that for me, that would be letting go of all my fears, of what lies beyond, letting go of the control that I think I have in my life about my actions or what I'm doing or not doing. And it seems like the pressures of our society to continue that keeps me away from that openness of like totally, the connection, the place that I knew before I was born. And yet that's like a real pull in my consciousness. And yeah, that's all I can say right now.
If we're ready for the great death, if we're ready, that's the key word, then indeed we have to transcend clinging to our uniqueness. We have to transcend clinging to everything that we love. And we certainly have to transcend our fears. And it's the only way to be ready for the great death. Now, let me say that again, you can get lost in any of these states. Any of them can also be a place that you'd kind of drown. I can't operate if there's no I and there's no self and there's no other and there's no, if I'm just dead. It's a great place to visit, but I wouldn't want to live there. Because you can't really live. You can live from that place, but you can't live in that place, if you follow me. Chris, you're shaking your head. Do you want to say anything? All right. Go ahead, Carol.
Well, for as long as I've been hearing about this, I have longed for it as some sort of a release from suffering. And as my own physical death becomes more of a possibility, or actual could happen, I realize I just really don't want to turn loose of this self, I, me. And so as you're talking about, and as Annie mentioned, the fears and all the things we have to turn loose of, it's getting very real. It's not speculative or theoretical. It's actually really daunting, really, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know, it doesn't seem like an easy thing to step through at all.
It's not easy. It is simple, just die, but it's not easy. And, I really wish for you, Carol, that you are, whenever it is that you do take your last breath, when any of us take our last breath, that we are ready.
Yeah.
And that, it's like, let's practice getting ready. I hope all of us practice getting ready. And it's not easy. It is not easy. But I think the more ready we are to have this day be our death day, the more ready we are to live this day more fully.
I'm seeing how much delusion I live with. Like, I have the delusion that I'm in control and can remain in control, and I don't want to stop being in control. And so I'm having trouble articulating this, but it just feels like, oh, this great death. I don't know if I want to give up all this control I've got, you know?
Yeah,
What a delusion. I know I'm not in control, but I want to be. I want to be.
exactly. And I think we all have this a fair measure of delusion around what we have influence over and what we control, and it's probably a whole lot less than we think.
Yeah, well, I would like to be in control of my afterlife too.
I see.
Yeah, so I'm
Wow.
not under control. I'm not ready to.
I wish you luck with that, Carol. If you figure it out, let me know.
Thank you, thank you. I'll let you know if I do. You a message from the afterlife.
And Zimith, did you have another? You would have.
Yes, I have a question. You are saying it is no unknowable, but feelable. And I wonder who is there to feel?
Oh, what a great question. What a great question. There's something beyond our narrow sense of self that is, it might be, our narrow sense of self might be little mind spelled with a little m, but there's a big mind spelled with a big M that we're all a part of, whether we're alive or dead. At least that's the way I look at it. That's the model I have for it. And big mind is already feeling it. And when little mind disintegrates or becomes translucent enough, you're sharing big mind, which is that feeling. And when you take a new in-breath, having visited big mind, the feeling stays with you. The feeling of what it was like to be beyond time and beyond form and beyond right and wrong and before the universe. The feeling remains with you because it's like you visited mind with a capital M, but it too doesn't have a place or a form.
Yes. So, and in the ox herding pictures, we are searching at the beginning for that mind, that big mind.
Right.
And
it's always with us.
in
Something
that
that needs to be attained, but we don't start out that way.
and in that stage of transcending the ox, we recognize that
yes, go ahead.
mind, like the one, I mean, in the womb before birth, is it that experience?
Yes.
Thank you.
And it might be experienced as warm or it might be experienced as cold, but it's not positive or negative. It's just emptiness, a vibrant emptiness.
So I'm sorry to keep going there, but when we chant the Heart Sutra, and we recognize, I mean, we are recognizing the no eyes, near ears, nose, tongue, mind.
Yep.
That's the emptiness. And it is said also that it releases us from all the fears.
Correct.
And so it is obvious, I mean, it is really something that I really, really, really would like to know, because the fears in question are paralyzing a lot of my action.
Exactly.
So that's desire, I mean, that good desire to be in that stage is motivating me to be on that cushion.
Correct.
For, yeah. So.
Exactly. Of course, the whole Heart Sutra is pointing at this. So there's no birth and death and no end to birth and death. This is a very important line. And it does transcend fear. Now, we're complicated creatures, so again, we can't stay in that no fear place. But even the memory of the no fear place is a boon to our actions.
Thank you.
Mary Lynn.
You want some comic relief?
Sure.
I got Italian and Sicilian blood. So I was thinking about Cher and the movie Moonstruck. And when Johnny Camilleri took his trip to Sicily to Palermo, okay, that was one thought. The other thought was the Andolini family from The Godfather, and that was the Corleone real name. So I had Palermo in my mind and Andolini in my mind. The following night, when my husband went out to eat, we were strolling around in the plaza. We met a wonderful young man with a little dog. The first words after the introduction that came out were, "My name is Andolini, and I've just come home from Palermo with my sister." Well, this was the next night. Now, I know this is big mind. This is something. This happens to me a lot.
Well, yeah, these synchronicities, as Jung called them, become more and more kind of evident as we grow older, and as the veil between life and death thins just naturally with age, and with practice it thins some, and then we see these synchronicities, the fact that everything's connected to everything, and everything's in motion. And interconnected and interdependent at levels that our conscious brains cannot really comprehend.
I didn't know if it was my cue from the universe to say, "Oh, okay, well, I want to go to Palermo with you on your next flight out." Maybe that was an invite. I have no idea. What scares, it's scary sometimes.
It's a little spooky.
I've had five near-death experiences in my life. 5. Not 1, 5. And under the circumstances, I didn't like any of them.
Okay.
And I really don't like it when something like this happens, because I need a sage and a wise person like you to tell me, to say, one of the other things that happened was, 3 months after I started reading Thich Nhat Hanh, I walk into our fleet farm, 15 below zero weather up here in Iowa. There's a Buddhist monk standing there, full saffron robes. They don't come to North Iowa.
But
so I walked around him. I said, I wanted to say, "Do you speak English?" Or, "Hey, I'm reading Thich Nhat Hanh. Hi, I'm a hick from Iowa." I mean, what am I supposed to do with it? So I called around and find Ryumanji's Zen Monastery in Dorchester, Iowa, which is a Soto Zen monastery. I told the abbot about it. I said, "This is what happened." He laughed and laughed and laughed. I was being nudged toward Buddhism a long time ago through Taoist thought.
Yeah. And by the way, I too have Sicilian blood in my background, so I'm with you. You can, from one Sicilian to another. Oh.
Maybe the best thing to do, graceful thing to do, is simply to bow deeply and shut up.
There we go. Let's see if there's more questions or comments from others. Go ahead, Mark.
This this is my favorite picture of the 10 Ox pictures, but it also brings up one of my biggest conundrums in practicing Zen is the paradox of it all. I find it Zen so incredibly paradoxical. I just can't wrap my head around it sometimes. And this one especially because I don't want to die at all. But there are times where I do want to die very badly. Um, it's such a I feel trapped almost sometimes. And I'm not even sure where I'm going with this. Um, it's like I want this so badly, but at the same time I don't. Not even for a second. So it's like trusting in that that awareness. I think that's what Beth is kind of like that feeling, trusting that feeling and knowing that it's going to be okay. And that, when I die, it's going to be fine. Um, I loved your part about the birth. I absolutely love that because when my own kids were born, like if you ever notice a newborn, like they are not there. Like the first few days, like there's nobody. Like it's like they're in another universe. And then obviously I have a 4-year-old now, and you see that self like so like foundationally there. It's like it's hard to deal with sometimes. So it's interesting seeing a child grow from nothing there to like, a strong foundation of their self. I find that very fascinating. Well, thank you.
Yeah, so we're recovering both our childlike nature, which we saw in one of the earlier Zen Ox pictures when riding the ox. It's a very childlike ease. And here we're getting to a sort of pre-birth or post-death view of reality. And in many ways, it's about recovery. It's not about attainment. It's about recovery of these states and learning how to dance or integrate them with our adult lives, which are often fearful and for good reason. We have instincts of survival, and so we're not going to get rid of our fear, but we can transcend it from time to time. And what a blessing if we do. And practice helps us transcend our fear, not get rid of it. And we actually need it. I need my fear to inform me. I need my ability to feel heat to inform me that my hand's on fire. So I don't want to get rid of these things. On the other hand, I don't want them to rule me. I don't want to be ruled by these sensations or these feelings. I need them, but I don't want to be ruled by them. And practice helps us transcend the stuckness of being controlled by them. Other comments or sharings? Questions? Mary, one more?
I don't want to take up, monopolize. When I used to get dramatic like a prima donna, my mother would say, Mary Lynn, don't you think you're kind of performing now? Don't you think you're kind of doing a little performance here? So I took that into my adult life because every time things became so heavy, considering I had a husband who had a mental breakdown and committed suicide, and I was the one to clean up after him. I pulled out of it. And I pulled out of it because I could see the lushness of life around me. I could see life pulsing around me. And I knew I had one chance, at least one chance that I knew of, to make it good, to really make it stick. And so anymore, I'll say, Mary Lynn, don't you think you're kind of being a drama queen here? And that kind of pulls me out of it because I remember the voice of my mother, Does that make any sense?
It does. One of my mentors, as you may know, I'm also a mental health counselor, psychotherapist, and one of my great mentors, two of them, said, whatever you do, don't be a psychiatrist or a psychotherapist or a psychologist. When you're with a client, don't be those things. Just be yourself. And relationship. Just be real. Just be real. You'll get much further just being real. By the way, on the subject of suicide, I learned that in the concentration camps that there was a resistance inside the concentration camps on the labor side if you weren't, which the average lifespan was about 3 months on the labor side, and people were killing themselves all the time. But they would find people to belong to the resistance on the labor side of the concentration camp in Nazi Germany. When people would try to kill themselves, they would save them and say, well, if you're ready to die, maybe you're ready to be trusted with being part of the resistance. And that's how they did recruitment. Recruitment was done for them, because whenever somebody was ready to commit suicide, that's how they would find people to be part of the resistance inside the camp. And one of my teachers said to me that bring me anybody who, it was Edo Shimani, bring me anybody who's seriously considering suicide, because they're ready to die, just perfect for Zen. And I'll teach them how to die without dying. And and I also was on another Zen Peacemaker retreat, the first Native American retreat, where we were in the county in South Dakota with the highest suicide rate of young adults in the nation. And the elderly grandmother, Sage, who was with us, I asked, we just heard about another suicide while we were in council. I asked her, what about, you're losing so many young people, what's that about? And she said, well, because we've lost our ability to bring our youth to spirit, and they're not being taught how to return to the earth or return to spirit. They are finding their own way. And the adults have failed them in not providing a way to be with spirit without dying.
Genjo, Gudrun has a chat down there with a question, I think.
Okay. Would you say that a tale as the one you're recounting resistance members resembles the footprints of the ancient masters? Are these stories and tales of our masters? Sure. I mean, that's part of why I go on these Zen Peacemaker plunges, is because there's such wisdom in the midst of great trauma. Often there's such wisdom. Not universally, of course, but great trauma strips away our not always, can strip away the artificial barriers between self and other, and between life and death. And so it's not hard, I think, to find great masters coming out of great trauma. questions, comments, sharings? I'm not quite sure what that is. Good, Gudrun.
I'll put on the microphone. I hope this works. It's about the snowflake. I think in your terms of your country, I would count as being a snowflake. So it speaks to me, but it's not been written like that. But yet it seems to match so very well with it. Could you maybe say something about that?
Well, it's said that every snowflake has a certain pattern that's similar with each other, but there's never one that's unique. And they're also very, very, very temporary on the whole. So we're very, 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 very unique, and yet we share patterns with all other human beings. We also share the fact that we're all water. Every snowflake is water. So, when it melts, it all flows together, or the uniqueness is gone, but it all flows together. And the water is a little bit like the big mind, and the snowflake is a little bit like the little mind. So, but it's the snowflake, even though it has a uniqueness that has never been before and never been again, and is temporary, it's water. And when water is with water, there's no individuality or separation. Yet, we're a part of this one big mind. We always have been, always will be. Carol.
And yet we're also a snowflake, incredibly beautiful.
Incredibly beautiful, incredibly unique, something to be treasured and not easily relinquished.
Why in the world would you relinquish it? It just keeps coming back and going around and around and around, back and forth. Why do we have to have one without the other?
Well, in a way we don't. As the Heart Sutra says, there is fundamentally no birth and death. But remember, there's no end to birth and death.
Well, if the Heart Sutra says form is emptiness, emptiness is form. Form is exactly emptiness. Emptiness is exactly form.
So, right, the snowflake is unique and transitory, but it's also formless in the sense of being water. It's always water, and water can take all these different forms. All these different unique forms, and yet it's still water. Water is still just water, no matter what form it's in.
Well, okay, so is one more important than the other?
Well, you can't keep water only in its water state. That seems to be the case. You can't keep mind in just a unified field. It expresses itself as a universe, or expresses itself as a flower, or expresses itself as a human being, expresses itself as a snowflake. That just, you can't keep it down. It doesn't stay in that uniform state. Form is emptiness, emptiness is form. It's in a constant dance.
Yeah. So we go to quantum mechanics as a wave particle.
Correct. It's always a wave, and every particle is also a wave.
And every wave is also a particle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Can't keep it down. It's different sides of the same coin. Well, After this, there's two more pictures. Go ahead, Mary, one last comment.
After you die, the death on the cushion, though, you can't, fade in and become aloof and live on a cloud, right?
Exactly, and that would be a mistake. You might become a hermit for a while because you just need to contemplate what that was like. But if you stay a hermit too long, or if you stay in, frankly, in my opinion, if you stay in a Zen monastery more than 1,000 days, you're being foolish. There's work to do. Yes, the image of a wave in the ocean. The wave is like the particle, the ocean is like the formlessness. So the wave has a temporary, unique existence, comes from the ocean, it is the ocean, it returns to the ocean, and yet it has a temporary existence as wave.
I have a question, Genjo.
Go ahead, Mark.
Why does form have to express itself?
I don't know. Whenever you go to a question of why, you're off the mark.
Yeah.
You might ask how, and we can get some theories about that. But the whole system doesn't know why. It just is.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Every time you ask a why, you're kind of off track. Maybe how is okay. I think we're getting ready to close.
Good, very good. Thank you, Genjo. And as Genjo said, we have 2 more sessions, same time next week and the week after. So please join. I also would like to invite everybody this week, as I'm sure everyone knows, Wednesday is the 80th anniversary of Hiroshima, and Saturday is the 80th anniversary of Nagasaki. We will be sitting online for an hour at 2 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time, and the link you can register on the website and get a link. And there won't be a program, there won't be a talk. We'll just sit quietly for an hour. I'll ring a bell every 10 minutes, and we'll mark the time, mark the memorial.
Here in Seattle, every year I go to a place called Green Lake and light a lantern on the 6th. And I'll be doing that.
Wonderful.
I do want to say that, today we kind of opened up the north window. We've got the south window yet to open, which will be the number 9. And then we'll get to number 10, which is walking out of the house. Okay.
Good, very good. Okay. Thank you, Genjo. Thank you, everybody. Stay safe. Have a good rest of your day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you, Genjo. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.